night before the market. It is utter chaos, and I mean, I'm excited, but yes, it is utter chaos. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Britt. I am the face behind Nerdy Girl Crochets. This is episode 5. It's actually going to be wrapping up the market series that I started back in October, which was documenting kind of like on a weekly basis my journey to this episode, which is prepping for my market that I have in November. It is November 7th and the market is tomorrow, November 8th. And I will be vending at a local high school. I vended at this holiday market last year and it went really well. So I'm excited because this year I am just kind of going at my own beat. I am going full on branding, which is Nerdy Girl Crochets. I am the face behind Nerdy Girl Crochets. I run a small crochet business where I primarily focus on painting the safety eyes. I am extremely passionate about all things glitter and really pulling in inspiration from all of my favorite things like anime. Really love anime. So I've had so much fun creating, safety eye collections inspired by anime. And those are typically limited time drops. And my standard collections are inspired by mental health awareness, which is something that I am incredibly passionate about. The standard collections are offered at all times. Aside from mental health awareness, another standard collection I do always offer is the Fury Eyes, which is inspired by How to Train Your Dragon. Absolutely love those. My favorite dragons ever. I also sell the sewing sticks, which help with sewing plushies together. Makes it so much easier. I sell stitch markers, crochet patterns, and plushies. Those are all on my website. You can find my patterns over on Etsy, but as far as physical items, you can only find those on my website, which is nerdygirlcrochets.com. So yes, this week has been very busy, chaotic, but all good things. It's not like bad chaos. I have been really hustling. I have been painting all the eyes from my previous eye drop that I did. So it went live October 25th, and then I want to say the listing closed, I want to say it was like October 28th. I want to say it was on the 28th. And as soon as it closed, I started painting all those because it was the first time that I did made to order, which I actually really loved. I think for future drops, I'm going to just be doing made to order. I really like people being able to get what they want and all the sizes they want and everything. Yeah, I had always previously done it where I just pre-painted and dropped it, and that's just how I did it before, but I don't know, I just really like people being able to get what they want. I think I will be switching to this way of doing it from here on out, and just, you hustle for a couple weeks after you drop them, but I really just enjoy people being able to get exactly what they want. That really makes me happy. So I'm still working on those orders, but we're getting there. I'm about 2/3 of the way through those orders, which feels really good because it's only a week and a half out since the drop, so I'm like, it's pretty good pacing. Especially with especially with market prepping in the midst. So I've been mostly like working on eye orders like earlier in the day, and then towards the evening time like market prepping. So it's been really busy the last week and a half, but I wouldn't like change it for the world. I absolutely love this. Like, I love my business. Just, yeah, it brings me so much joy. Anyways, day before the market, I kind of have a few things on my agenda. Unfortunately, yesterday I did get a flat tire. I have to go get a new tire today. And that's fine. I actually have decided that while I go and have my tire fixed, I actually have an appointment, so it's good and scheduled. So I've decided I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to bring Derpy with me and I'm going to do his embroidery while I'm there. I know some people get nervous about bringing stuff in public and like working on it. I used to be that way too, but now I'm kind of just like, I have a market to prep for. I am really trying to utilize like all the time I have. I actually have like just this little bit of black posh left from a skein I've been using from tons of projects. So I'm like, perfect. I can bring this with me. So then all I have is like this. So really it's not even that much yarn with me out in public to carry. And then I can work on his embroidery and still feel productive while I have to go get something done that absolutely needs to be done. Unfortunately, I got a flat tire. Just like stuff like that happens, but literally in the moment yesterday, I was like, I am so happy that this happened today and not the day of the market. Like, that was literally my exact thoughts. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness this happened today and not the morning of the market. That would have been horrible. Anyways, I'm like, silver lining that I'm just so happy that happened. So yes, anyways, Standing Derby is going to be coming with me and I can work on his embroidery. So this pattern is not released yet. This pattern is by Nocturne Cat Crochet over on Instagram. She has literally been my best friend since like I first started my page over on there. That was back October 2023. We connected like very early on and she's just the best. Such an amazing person. I can never say enough good things about her. I just love Kat so much. She's so incredible. Such a good person, amazing designer. She really is such a tiger goddess. She just keeps coming out with the cutest derpy patterns ever. I love them so much. So I cannot wait to see his embroidery. Like, I'm so excited. He's gonna be so cute on my table. I'm really excited. It's just gonna be so cute. So yeah, he literally just needs his embroidery and he'll be good to go. And then I can put a price tag on him. Another project I need to finish up today, which I'm gonna try and get some sewing done on him before I have to go, which I have to leave for my appointment in like 25 minutes. So maybe I'll just have to drink my coffee and hustle. I am working on finishing up this pattern test for Red Mills Crochet. This is Barry, the Bashful Dragon. He's so cute already. This is my boy Toothless. He's so cute already. He doesn't even have his little frills on. I have everything crocheted for him. Like I have his wings and all his little frills are here. I was working on him last night and starting to assemble and I was like, I need to go to bed. I'm really tired. But I just like love how cute he is and his little hands up like, oh, I just think he's super, super cute. The eyes he has, these are by my best friend, Allie Mackenzie Crafts, who is here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Oh, those eyes. These eyes were from her Lord of the Rings drop. I can't remember the name of them, but I'm like seriously so obsessed. And she knew how obsessed I was with these eyes that she surprised me with like 3 sets of them for my birthday. I was like, oh, I love them. I love them. I love them. So I have been using them for market prepping, but I'll be saving a set for myself. So when I make a Toothless, I can keep a set for myself because I do love them so much. So I want to have a make where I can have it like up on my Fury shrine and have a set of her eyes and one of my own Toothless. So anyways, he's super cute. I know this pattern, she has it where people can like give Toothless a booty. Yeah. I enjoy seeing people put booties on their plushies, but I personally do not ever put booties on my plushies. It's like, I don't have anything against it, but like, I don't know, I've just never been a booty on my plushie kind of girl. I get a good like chuckle out of it, but like, I have never had a desire to put a booty on my plushie. I don't know what it is. I think it's really silly, but it just does not feel like me. But every time I see it, I think it's really funny. Like, whenever I see Millie's content, which I can't remember. I can't remember if I said that Millie is Red Mills Crochet. She is on YouTube and Instagram. She's another one of my best friends in the community. She's so hilarious. I love Millie. All the content she's making with her plushies recently that have booties, it's just so funny. Like, the music that goes into them, just, I get a crack up every single time. So I really love when people play up the whole like silliness of the plushies that have the booties, but yeah, I personally don't put booties on mine, but I do think it's silly and funny and cute. But yeah, I just love how like cute he is, and he's like I do love him. And then as far as like other things on my desk that I just had to finish, I did finish this. Oh my gosh, I'm putting him up to the camera. I'm like, oh, he's so cute. So my last episode, I was talking about how I just had to do embroidery for these Oogie Boogies that I made using the Naughty Hookers pattern. I finished one last night, and I started the other. I just have to do his face, so I have to finish that today. Just one of them, thankfully. Less people do, like, eyes on all their plushies that are embroidered. I'm like, this is so much work and takes so much patience. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine doing this all the time. This is yeah, this takes patience. I'm like, I love safety eyes because you just and you're done. So yeah, I need to do his face. Otherwise, it's just kind of like I want to add the little knitted chain that I did with my iPro like knitting machine that I got from Kato to these, my derpy keychains. And then I plan to add one to this Eevee keychain as well. And then just actually add the keychain part itself to these and they're done. And then I finished the little blue chicken from Stardew Valley. This pattern is by Crochet by Dill. So that's, as far as like whips on my desk, that's what I've got going on here that need to be finished. I did finish Zoe last night. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. This pattern is by Sweet Beans Crochet. So this eye drop I had just done, I had pre-painted some eyes, and I pre-painted a decent amount of 20mm eyes, I'm not gonna lie. So I have some left over, so I was like, I'm going to use some of the Asuna eyes on her, because they're pretty gold. So I'm like, let's just try. And I honestly was like, wow, these look really good on Zoe. So I was really happy with how she came out with the Asuna eyes on her. There will be a Zoe at my booth with a pair of the eyes that just dropped. And I was really happy with how she came out. I thought she looked super cute. So yeah, I'll have another little Miss Zoe on the booth. I love Zoe. It was fun. My friend Kat, Nocturne Cat Crochet, and my friend Allie Mackenzie Crafts, we call ourselves like the bestie trio, and now we call ourselves the Crochet Demon Hunters. We all love K-pop Demon Hunters so much. We were talking about the Huntrix girls and like which ones we resonate with and all that. And I was like, I resonate so deeply with Rumi, but I feel like I have Zoe energy in there. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's like I love Rumi so much, but I definitely feel like my energy is very Zoe. So I'm like, oh, do you guys see it? Do you see the Zoe energy? So every time I watch her, I'm like, yeah, I kind of see it. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm Zoe. So anyways, I just think she's so cute. I just love this pattern so much. Like Robin, Sweet Beans Crochet, also here on YouTube and Instagram. She just nailed it. I know in like my previous videos I've talked about it, but I cannot emphasize enough how much she nailed this pattern. It is so cute. I just cannot wait to see it on my booth. I did end up buying a display stand specifically for these dolls that Robin recommended because I had bought these displays and I had bought them twice now because each time they arrived and they were missing a piece or a piece was broken. So I said, forget it. I'm going to buy one that Robin recommended and I know for a fact will fit the dolls because I can't keep risking it this close to the market. So I bought a display that actually fits the dolls and I know will. And I cannot wait to see it. I need to go drink coffee because I have to go to the tire shop soon. And that's when I'm going to work on the embroidery for Mr. Derpy. So I'll see you guys when I get back from that. So right now I am working on adding the chains that I mentioned I wanted to add to the derpy keychains. So this is kind of what they're looking like. I'm learning the best ways as I go on how to do this, but what I figured would work is actually working. So in order to get like the same length of chain here, I'm actually just using this cord that I made with the iCord Pro by Kato, and I'm literally just kind of holding it up to here and then using my scissors and cutting the length that I need. So I'll show you. I'm gonna go on the opposite end because it actually already has a finished end, so it's gonna save me a little bit of work this time around. So then I have like this unfinished bit here. So then I'm just gonna try and find the end of the yarn tail because you have to work through the bits that you just cut until you find it and you have your actual working tail again. And then I just unravel it a little bit so I have a working tail because I need to have a tail long enough. Also just make sure it's about the same size. It's okay if it's like a smidge shorter, longer, whatever. It's about the same. Just gonna go through the loops to close it off, just like I would if I were actually making the cord with the machine for the first time. Kind of like to go around like twice just to make it super tight. Okay, see, now I've got this nice little baby chain. So what I actually have decided to do is I've got like these little split rings, like little tiny split rings. So I'm adding these to the keychain so I can actually just add the chain with Derpy onto here. So that way if people need to like take him off of the bigger keychain, they can. So now what I'm doing is it's like basically kind of sewing around the split ring. So it's like sewing around here onto here. That's how I'm going about fastening the chain to the split ring, but I'm not sure if that's the correct way. It's just how I'm doing it. I'm just adding these little cords to add a little bit more character to the keychain. Make it look a little like different, unique. So I'm not sure if this is the right way. It's just something I figured I would try out. Make it stand out. Yeah, but I kind of think of it as like if you're just like sewing a limb onto a plushie the same way. I'm just sewing the split ring onto this, or just sewing the split ring. I'm sewing the cord onto the split ring and then like double knotting when I'm done. And then I'm gonna weave that tail through the chain before I cut it off. Honestly, it just weaves through the bottom pretty nicely. So then I'll be able to sew it onto the derpy head. It's much easier if I do this part first versus having it connected to Derpy's head and then doing it. I learned that the hard way. I originally did the like connection to Derpy's head first, and yeah, it was just way more of a struggle. So it's all about learning. Much easier that I'm doing this first. So anyways, I'm just doing that now. I only have 2 more to do. So I need to do 2 more attachments. I didn't need to do the attachment of the keychain part here because this was the one I learned. Well, I was still learning on this one. But anyways, so that's what I'm doing right now, getting these ready to go. And then I need to add a chain onto Evie that I made because I'm going to sell her as a keychain as well. So yeah, final touches. It is 2 o'clock. I think I'm making pretty good timing considering that the market's tomorrow, and then I'm going to be doing a mock setup here this afternoon. So honestly, feeling pretty good stress-wise. I did finish standing Derpy. I went and got his final photos outside. I know the lighting's kind of rough because my window's right there, but this is my table where I'm doing like my last minute touches and everything. But standing Derpy is done and he's so cute. And then I also did finish Barry the bashful dragon, who is also just, oh, he's so cute. So anyways, finish those up. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. Finish these keychains. I need to do the embroidery for the little mini Oogie Boogie. I think then I'll be caught up. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to it, but I really did want to show like how I'm going about adding those chains onto my keychains. This is where I'm at right now. It is like complete chaos in here. Oh my gosh, it's just so messy, so cluttered. I am somebody who really doesn't do well when my like craft area is just so messy. So this is really hard because obviously I can't really do anything about it right now. I'm just trying to do my mock setup, and so it is what it is. This is my first logo I ever had, which was actually made by my husband. It's pretty cute, huh? But anyway, so I had that on my booth last year, even though I think by that time my logo had been updated by that point, but still, I still put it on the booth. I'm not gonna do that this year, but I still thought it was cute. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I have to build these cubes. I plan to put them on the left side of the booth, and I had to mark the table because I thought it was a 6-foot table, but it is a 5-foot table that I'll have. So anyways, this is kind of where I'm at now, and I just have to keep going. I'm feeling it. Honestly, I feel like the clutter of my space is giving me more anxiety than the actual bazaar being tomorrow. So I think this is kind of what I'm hoping for. Now we have to kind of like imagine because I honestly just expected that all of the white pieces that go to the cube shelving would be in the bins from when I did this bazaar last year, and I have no idea why, but a bunch of them are missing. I know my husband helped take this down, but he even is like, I don't know where they could have gone. So a lot of the pieces are missing. So I'm just being creative here. I did order a new cube thing, and hopefully it'll get here in time, but if not, I'm just gonna use zip ties. Oh my gosh. But it is what it is. So we're gonna just be creative. Last year when I had my cube set up, I did have 2 more on the top of this. So imagine it as 2 more on top of there. So I'll have like more room to display. But I do want Spyro to be the attention grabber and probably the Spidey Dino as well. So just put those 2 up there. I do like those up there. I do need to add price tags to those ornaments still. But otherwise, I do kind of like how I have that set up. I do plan to put like a little price tag that says like whatever the price is and below to kind of be like an attention grabber so people know like, hey, all these in this bottom section are going to be this price and below. So they know going in like this batch here is going to be this price range type of a deal. So you can come like a little bit closer. Like the sploot gang. I do have a couple other like splooty styles, but my table for this bazaar is only 5 feet. It is pretty limiting, so I'm having to be creative. But depending how things sell will depend how it goes because if stuff sells, like I can move things around. So the derpy keychains right here, if those all sell, I can like take this down. I do have the one Eevee keychain. I still have to add the knitted cord to it and everything, but if that all sells, I can take this down. So that'll also make some space. These are smaller makes. I've got the Stardew Valley chickens, and I have some of those to replace them, but it's like if everything on that sells, I could take it down. So it's like as the bazaar goes, there are options. So, and then I've got like 2 signs there that I'm going to use to just say like Huntrix dolls this much, cats this much type of a deal. And just because I'm so low on space now, I'm going to actually just clip the paper that's got the QR codes for my Venmo and PayPal. All right. It actually has taken me a long time to do this just with all the, having to look around and try and figure out where those connector pieces went. And then this black shelf arrived, so I had to build that. And admittedly, it was a lot more difficult to build than I expected it to be. So definitely broke a sweat. Last little thing is here, that little gold thing. Imagine my business cards there. And then I do have a sash that says like Nerdy Girl Crochets on it. I think it says like Instagram and more, something with a QR code. I can't remember. I bought it last year. So anyway, this is what it's looking like. The bazaar has started. Mama Nerdy's here. Hi. It's probably pretty loud and audio's probably not very good, but you know, we're here. It's the start of the day, so we'll see how it goes. Miranda's being a great little helper.
One like kept calling over and I was like
She's the best friend in real life and crochet bestie, Mando Crochets. Alright, good morning guys. It is Monday, November 10th now. My market was on Saturday the 8th, and I figured I want to definitely do a little rehash of how it went. I had actually so much fun. Like I've kind of been saying in this past market series, if you guys have been following along, this year I did just go full on with my branding, like all things nerdy. I did not make like any of the really popular market makes per se. I mean, I did make chickens, but they were Stardew Valley chickens, very, very specifically Stardew Valley chickens from the video game. I just like had so much fun. I am so glad that I really did just stick to my branding. I really felt sticking to my branding made it way more enjoyable. Not that last year wasn't enjoyable, but the prepping for it was not as enjoyable for me. I just think sticking to my branding, it just feels more like me and it brings so much joy. I can't even begin to describe it. It's just, that's me to a T. I just love it so much. I will absolutely be diving into just like my favorite parts of the market, what sold, what were the attention grabbers at my booth, and just some of my favorite interactions I had. It was just so much fun. But yeah, I just think for me here forward, it's like sticking to my branding is going to be, it's just going to be what I do because that's what makes me so happy. I did have a few people come up and ask like, oh, do you have like an elephant or this? And of course I was nice about it, but I internally felt myself deflate because I was like, no. Like internally I felt like I wasn't sad about the fact of missing a sale. It just felt like, no, because that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can appreciate an animal, like crocheted animal, and be like, that's really cute. But like the thought of having to make it myself just felt like I would be bored making it. And that sounds so bad, but it's not me. And I was surrounded by so many crocheters who had like a lot of the very popular market makes, like I saw a lot of like Mushroom Boys, the octopus and all of that. So I saw them everywhere. There were a lot of crochet vendors there. And I just like for me, when somebody asked, I just felt myself even at the thought of having to make like an animal that I have no desire to create, just feel like, ugh, and it's not to say that I don't appreciate a cute animal pattern. I do, but it's not me. Like, it's just not what sparks joy for me. I just have to stick to what feels like me and what makes me so happy. And for me, what sparks joy is bringing like my favorite characters to life, my favorite dragons to life. That's what makes me so unbelievably happy. Creating the eye collections based on my favorite anime. It's like, that's me to a T. And connecting with other people with the same passion, that makes me feel so alive and so happy. So this year it just felt, even though I was like grinding beyond belief, and after the market I was so dead tired, it just felt like, wow, I'm so happy I just stuck to who I am and it paid off. If I can give any words of encouragement to anybody, I feel like it's just stick to who you are, what makes you happy, and it will pay off in the end. I just think my experience this year was a lot more pleasant than it was last year when I was just kind of going with what people told me to make and what sells, because it just like that was just not what my experience was. So anyways, I figure I kind of want to start off with the really like positive experiences that stuck with me from the market because I just was like so honored, honestly. So, first one was I actually had somebody from my channel who came and visited me, and she told me she took the day off from work to come and visit me, and that was such an honor. I was like, that is unbelievably sweet. Her name is Elizabeth Place here on YouTube, and we got to chat for a while. I'll insert a photo of us, and I just was like, wow, that is so amazing. You know, I'm still just like a baby YouTuber, so the thought that somebody would like take the day off from work to come say hi and see me and see my booth, it was just so unbelievably sweet. I absolutely loved getting to chat with you, so thank you so much, Elizabeth. It was so much fun getting to see you, and I can't even describe like how unbelievably honored I was to have somebody come say hi to me from my YouTube channel just because, like I said, I'm a baby YouTuber, so I'm like, I'm a nobody and you want to come say hi? So thank you so, so much. It was so fun getting to see you. So unbelievably kind. So that was so amazing. And the other experiences, one was just I had put out the Roomy Snuggler I had tested for BK Crochet. I mean, she wasn't out there long. My older sister was just visiting and saying hi to my mom and I, because my mom was vending with me. Well, not with me, but she had her booth table and I had my booth table right next to each other, which is so much fun. I love that my mom and I have gotten to vend together the last 2 years. It just makes it way more special and entertaining because then I've got my mom, who's like my best friend, with me, so I'm not alone. So she was visiting my mom and I. I had just put out the Roomy Snuggler, honestly not expecting it to sell because in my experience, I've had issues with snugglers selling because most of the time I get more questions about people like they're like, why isn't the body stuffed? So I put her out there just like maybe she'll sell. Not expecting her to, but I was like, maybe she will. But I had barely had her out there and my sister was visiting and she saw her and she instantly grabbed her and she's like, I want her. And I was like, really? I was so just touched and honored by like my sister's reaction to her and how quickly she grabbed her and wanted her, and it was so sweet. I don't know, it warmed my heart a lot. I know I make stuff for my sister all the time because she's a huge anime fan like me, but I don't know, something about it in that moment and how quick she grabbed her and how she was just kind of in awe of her and all the details and her patterns and the two different eye colors, because I gave her a gold eye and a purple eye to signify her, you know, kind of when she does transform and her demon side comes out. Seeing my sister's reaction was the coolest thing ever, and it just really warmed my heart. So that really touched me. I actually did get a photo of my sister holding her up, and it was so it was so sweet. That really did stick with me. I was like, so yeah, my sister did take home the Roomy Snuggler, and honestly, I'm so happy it went to her because now I don't have to like miss the Snuggler because I was so proud of that Snuggler I tested. It was so, so amazing. So yeah, now my sister has the Roomy Snuggler that I tested for BK Crochet, and I'll be able to see it in her awesome game room. Her game room is surrounded with amazing figurines and just memorabilia of all these different fandoms. It's so cool. The other like positive experience I had, this was so cute. Honestly, the little kids seeing the Huntrix dolls by Sweet Beans Crochet was probably the cutest thing ever. I had multiple little girls who would see Roomy and they would freak out. I had one little girl who grabbed my last Roomy, hugged her so tight, and started dancing and singing Golden, and it was so freaking cute. And her parents were like, all right, do you want her? Because that's the only thing you're gonna get. Do you want her? And she's like, yes, yes, yes. And she kept singing Golden, and her parents were like, yeah, she even knows how to sing it in French. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was the cutest thing ever. So pretty much anytime little kids would come up and be freaking out over the Huntrix dolls or the derpy patterns that I'd created by Nocturne Cat Crochet, that was the cutest thing ever because honestly, like, I'm a huge huge K-pop Demon Hunter fan. Like, I'm not just saying that, I'm a huge fan. So seeing the little kids go crazy over those was the cutest thing ever. I was like, I'm just a big kid. So it's easy for me to connect with the little ones going crazy over those. It was so, so cute to see their reactions. And I was like, oh gosh, it's so cute. It just completely warmed my heart seeing them get so excited over the Huntrix dolls. I honestly wish I had had more time to make more of them because the reaction to them was so, so adorable. Yeah. Oh, that was just the cutest thing ever. So absolutely loved loved seeing the reaction to her. It's so cute. Final like interaction that really stuck with me and kind of, like, urged me to do something which I'll talk about later, but the final interaction that I should say interactions that really stuck with me were I was, like, wearing a Solo Leveling shirt at the market, and I had, like, multiple interactions where customers were, like, making conversation with me about Solo Leveling, which then led to, like, conversation about different anime, and it was just so much fun. I love connecting with fans of, like, anime, and it was just so much fun getting to talk to them about it, and I can just if you get me talking about an anime I love, we can go forever. Oh my gosh, it was just so, so much fun, and those interactions were honestly, like, one of my favorite parts of the day. And honestly, so it was like I was talking to somebody, he probably was in his 40s, so we were talking about Soul Leveling, the manhwa, the, like, novel, everything about it, and, it's just so great, and then I was talking to some high schoolers who went to that school because it was at a high school, about Soul Leveling, then it went on to talk about all these different, like, anime. It was just so cool, and those interactions made me realize, I'm like, "Okay, I think I need to just try and get on with the con." As intimidated as I am at the thought of doing, like, a convention, I really feel like that's kind of, like, where my people are and my crowd, given what I enjoy making. My favorite creations are anime, like, I make so much Pokemon. I love to make dolls, like, dolls are my passion. When you go to a con I know this because I go to cons. But when you go to, like, a con, you kinda go to look for, like, one of a kind type of things, and most people when they go to conventions, like, they go with the mindset of, like, yeah, you're gonna be kind of, like, spending money. So, going to convention, I would feel comfortable going and bringing the dolls that I create because it's not the same as, like, a bazaar where I very much get the impression that people expect just to find cheap things. People go to conventions with a very different mindset. I ended up signing up for an anime convention. So, yeah, yesterday I signed up for an anime convention. It is a newer one, and it's one I actually went to. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I did go to this convention, and it was funny because I went to sign up for it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm on the website." I literally went to apply and I was like, there's a picture of my sister and I. We were literally walking around the convention and it's on the website. I was like, is that a sign? Is that a sign I'm meant to be a vendor there? It is a 3-day convention, and if I get accepted, that would be February 6th through the 8th. So we'll see. We'll see if I get accepted. I'm hopeful. I think it would just be so fun because literally I would be surrounded by people who are passionate about the same things as me. Literally everything I love to make would just be what I'm prepping for it. I just think that's ultimately like where I will find my crowd, you know what I mean? Not to say that I won't do this market again. I plan to sign up for it again. I've had good success the last 2 years, but I think as far as what I primarily love to make and my crowd of people that I love to interact with, I think a con is probably like my best suited fit, I guess, so to speak. I'm just a big old nerd who loves connecting with other nerds. What can I say? So yeah, I did. I took the leap and I signed up for a con. I can't believe it. I just kind of did it. Yeah, before I get into plushies that sold, I did want to also mention like a big attention grabber that I intentionally put out kind of like on top of my cubes on my booth to draw people in even from a distance was my Spyro dragon that I tested for bunnies and beasts. Pretty much everybody who came up to the booth saw it and was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so amazing." And I actually did not get people gawking at that price. I did get people more so this year gawking at my other prices, but not for him. I felt like people could see him and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's really big and that's a lot of work." So I see why. But it was interesting, I will say, and I do want to bring this up because it's pretty disheartening in my opinion, and I know this is very controversial, but I do think it's something that needs to be talked about because it makes me pretty sad. This year compared to last year, I had a lot more people looking at my price tags and, like, making faces or and I, I only had a chance to go to the bathroom once, and that was when Mando Crochets showed up and watched my booth for me so I could run to the bathroom really quick. As I was walking to the bathroom, I saw prices that crocheters were asking for things, and some of them were, like, potted plants with a lot of flowers coming out, and they were only asking, like, 10 or 15 bucks. And I was across from a crocheter who had a bin full of plushies, some of them really big. They were like dinosaurs and whatnot. 10 bucks only. And I get that talking pricing is very controversial, but I think it's very disheartening to see that because crochet is handmade. It's one of a kind. It cannot be made with a machine. It takes hours to create what we do. It's a skill. Not everyone can do it. So to see somebody pricing something that takes hours to make at $10 is very disheartening. And so seeing like so many crocheters pricing these big things at $10, I was like, well, no wonder people are coming up to my booth and gawking at my prices. I thought it was very sad. Like, it was very, very sad. I'm like, this isn't art. What we create is art. Not everybody can do it. It made me very sad. I'm like, undervaluing it is just heartbreaking. I don't know. I almost didn't want to bring it up, but I'm like, it needs to be brought up. It made me so unbelievably sad. I'm like, this is just, I don't know, $10? Somebody was asking $10 for a loaf cat. I'm like, are you kidding? It just made me really sad, and I felt I needed to bring it up because I've often felt like it is crazy to me how people will go to the mall, not think anything of spending like, say, $15 on a little keychain that's just an acrylic cutout of a character. But if they go to a market and they see $15 for a handmade like keychain, they and it's like, but that took somebody time to actually make that. And I just am blown away by the fact that people don't think about that. And it really breaks my heart because people do not see the value of handmade. And I feel like we really need to change that because handmade is actually really special and unique. It's one of a kind. Like, handmade is not made in a factory. Like, nobody else has it. It just really broke my heart. That's why I felt the need, like, I have to say it. I have these thoughts all the time, like, especially just when I shop around the mall, and I'm like, it's amazing how people literally don't think anything of dropping huge amounts on these things that everybody else can have. But if they go to a market and they see that price, it's like, how dare you ask that? But we can spend 10 hours making something and people just expect us to basically give it to them. Like I said, it's controversial, but it breaks my heart. It's an art. I can't say it enough. It's an art, and it just really made me sad. So anyways, I'm going to get into, off the top of my head, what I remember did sell, because I'm going to be honest, I did not put in like inventory for absolutely every single thing I made. I did not have time to do that. Honestly, it just ended up being a fiasco the last few days before market prep. I was trying to do mock setup and Oh my gosh, it ended up being a hot mess. I assumed that the cubes I had from last year, all their pieces would be in the same box. Apparently not. I was missing like all of the little connectors. I don't know what happened to them. So I had to rush order cubes and just hope that they arrived early in the hours before the market, and thank goodness they did. But my husband had the idea to do the pink and black cubes together because it's very on brand for me, and that looked amazing. I was like, ah, love it. So he helped me build the cubes before I went to the market. Even though he had worked the night before, I was like, oh, bless him, he's amazing. Because I was really struggling with getting those cubes together, and thank goodness he built them before. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would have done if he hadn't built them before, because when I got there, I waited 25 minutes to try and get help from the students, which last year when I arrived, they were able to help me right away, but this year they were really busy. So I waited 25 minutes and then I was like, I can't wait anymore. I've gotta get unloading. I ended up getting out of the line for their help, and just unfortunately that meant I had to park really far away. I didn't have anything like on wheels to help me when it came to unloading my stuff. So I just had to carry everything in. And oh, I was so sore. So yeah, today I'm a little less sore, but I was in a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain after the market and yesterday, just because of unloading my stuff, being so far away from it, but that's okay. That's okay. It happens. Lesson learned. I'm gonna get like a little wagon just in case something like that happens again. Yeah, I'm newer to the market stuff, you guys, and I do want to try and do more of them. So it's always a lesson learned, but oof, my body was screaming yesterday. Anyways, on to the good stuff of what sold. And this is just off the top of my head because, like I said, I did not like diligently type up everything. I just didn't have time. So I went more off of like price ranges and I just typed those in and went off of that. But off the top of my head, what sold? The Hunter Stalls by Sweet Beans Crochet. I had 2 roomies and 1 Mira. Those sold. Poor Zoe. I brought 2 and she did not sell. I'm like, my poor girl Zoe. So I still have 2 of Zoe. The Stardew Valley chickens, those sold out. I brought 2 white, 1 void chicken, and 2 blue. So those sold out. The Bulbasaur Snuggler and Mew Snuggler and the Mini Fury Snugglers by Pebble Crochets, those sold. I brought 3 of the little Mini Fury Snugglers and those sold, and oh my gosh, I felt like everybody who came to the booth were freaking out over those. And I had like a couple people who were like, oh, I'm going to come back. I want to make sure I look at everything. And they came back and they were sad because they had sold. So those were really popular. I feel like I'm definitely going to keep those in my back pocket as ones that I want to make again because they are quick workup and they are very popular. And I myself love them. I love to create that pattern and I just think they're so cute. Like, love that pattern so much. And if you see me looking it away, it's because I have the list like up on my computer. I sold the Zero and Oogie Boogie by Naughty Hookers. Unfortunately, I only had time to do the embroidery on 1 Oogie. I did not have time to do the eyes on the second one. Bless people who do embroidery on everything. The eyes on him took me too long, so I only had time to do 1. It is what it is. Next things I remember selling were Snorlax and Gojo Cat. Both of those patterns are by Red Mills Crochet. The Splooting Eevee by Snuggle Beans Crochet. Chubby Umbreon by Aaron's Yarnimals. I mentioned earlier that the Roomy Snuggler by BK Crochet sold to my sister. Charmander by Sphinx Crochet. Tazuki, that is Luna from Sailor Moon, by Nocturne Cat Crochet. Miles Morales, it's a kitty I modded using Crochet Me Zaddy's Itty Bitty Kitty pattern. I use like jumbo yarn so they are bigger, and that sold. Dusk by KP Crochet Creations. Flareon and Snorlax by Crafted for Comfort. Astra the Dragon, but it was a Light Fury mod by Mama Kaylee Creations. And then like a free-handed little ornament that I put Sailor Moon's little crescent moon on, and that was free-handed by me. There may have been more stuff that sold and I can't remember, but that's just off the top of my head what I remember did sell. It was a success. I am very, happy with how it went. I was busy. It started off a little slow, or what felt like was slow at first, just because last year I remember it was just right from the get-go, it was really busy, but I felt like after 30 minutes, then it was busy and I wasn't able to leave my booth. So yeah, overall, very, very good. I wasn't able to go look around at all, so it was good. I'm very happy with the outcome of it. I know I definitely want to do this market again next year. This year and last year, I had very positive experiences with this market, so I definitely am hoping to do it again next year. And I really do just like getting out there and sharing my passion with the community. And it was really cute because I did have repeat customers from last year who remembered me, and that was so sweet. Yeah, I just thought that was really, really fun. I think one thing that had surprised me until I saw kind of the underselling of so many other things around me in the crochet realm was that Derpy Tiger wasn't selling. Even the keychains I brought of him weren't selling. And then once I saw the underselling of other things around me that were crochet, then I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. There was even somebody selling horror dolls for very cheap. That made more sense to me then. I was like, okay. Overall, very positive, but yeah, I just was so disheartened to see so many crocheters undervaluing their work. And like I said earlier, I know that's such a controversial topic, but I just truly feel like what we do is art, and I just want everybody to know that. I'm like, crochet is so amazing. I just can't say it enough. It's so amazing. I absolutely love hyping up other crocheters, and it just really breaks my heart when I see these really amazing, immaculate pieces and they're just priced so low. So anyways, I just had to talk about it. If you guys made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. And if you've watched the other videos leading up to this point, thank you so, so much. I had an absolute blast creating this series, and I don't know, maybe if I get accepted to the anime convention, I'll make another series of prepping for that anime convention. That would be so much fun. So I guess we'll wait and see and find out. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Be sure to like and subscribe. It helps my channel more than you guys know. Alright, bye!